Let me just start off by saying that I'm a fan of The Amazing Atheist, otherwise known as TJ Kirk. I've been a fan for many, many years, and I don't think that I'm going to stop anytime soon. But this video isn't a defense or an attack against him, it's just my own telling of how something he said changed the way I thought about a lot of things in my life. That being said, I don't want this video to spark debates about his politics, his opinions, or even why I like him. I can save that for another video. This video is mostly about me and my story, and so I want discussion to focus on that. As a kid, I was raped a couple of times. For a long while, I blocked out the memories of these assaults, but by the time I was in middle school, inklings had started to come back. Ever since then, I'd been dealing with PTSD and a number of other mental illnesses that probably had some roots in this abuse. Not a day went by that I didn't think about it, and by the time I was out of high school, it was tearing me apart. But in recent years, it just got worse. I was crying a lot of the time. Therapy could only do so much. It felt like I was never going to get over this. It felt like I was broken and damaged and fucked up, and I'd never be normal because, as I put it, the foundation for what my normal was fucked up. I tried talking about it, but all I felt was shame, constant guilt, hatred for myself. I opened up to a friend about it, thinking it would help me come to terms with it, and although he was incredibly supportive and did everything right, I felt even worse. For a while when I saw him, I regretted telling him at all because I couldn't stop thinking that he saw me as disgusting as I saw myself. I thought I was hopeless. I thought I was ruined for life. On to where TJ Kirk plays a part in this. In his video titled Rape, Feminism, and the Amazing Atheist, TJ addresses some of the things he's said in the past regarding rape. Some things that are distasteful, things that he regrets that he wouldn't say today if he were in the same situation. Back in 2014, when I watched this video, I had a lot of mixed feelings, but mostly admiration that someone could stand up and talk about the things they've done wrong in life in such an honest way. A few months ago, when I went back and watched this video again, something stuck out to me more than anything. A quote of his from many, many years ago that he was addressing. It goes as follows.
Rape isn't fatal, so imagine my indignation when I saw a chat room called Rape Survivors. Is this supposed to impress me? Someone fucked you when you didn't want to be fucked and you're amazed you survived. Unless he used a chainsaw instead of his dick, what's the big deal?
Now, this is obviously insensitive, and TJ talks further about it in the video, but I found myself thinking, what's the big deal? What is the big deal? What really is the big deal? All my life, everything around me had been telling me that rape was the worst possible thing to happen to a person, that it murders your spirit, as my dad put it. But is this true? The more I thought about it, the more conclusions I started to draw. What happened? A dick was put into me when I was young, and it was horrible and bad at the time and shouldn't have happened. That shouldn't happen to anyone. But now, that dick is not still in me. I'm not walking around with a dude attached to my pelvis. There's nothing left. And yet I was holding on to all these feelings as if there were something left. As if I was still being actively harmed. Right now? What's the big deal? So what? The only one making it a big deal was me, and by inflating it as something of utmost importance, I was harming myself. I realized what happened to me does not need to be important anymore. Sure, there was a time that I needed to grieve. I needed to spend those years hurting and working through it because obviously you can't expect someone with a fresh wound to just heal instantly. But it had been more than a decade and I was still fucked up? I was still irrevocably changed? No. A dick isn't that powerful. A dick isn't strong enough to change someone for good. A dick is a body part that weak people can use to hurt others, but not kill them. It's not a chainsaw. It couldn't destroy me. To murder someone is to end them. There is nothing left of a person who has been murdered. There's no turning around. There's no making things better. They're dead and gone and nothing can change that. I was not murdered. There wasn't a part of me that died when I was raped because there is no resurrection for something dead. And as long as I was still alive, I was not destroyed. As long as I was still alive, I was not broken. And that thought process is what changed me. I used to not be able to talk about this at all without crying. I used to not be able to talk about this at all without feeling some deep sorrow. But now, it's nothing to me. I can talk about it freely. Days go by where I don't even think about it. I don't lie awake in bed crying. It's nothing to me. Because right now, it's not a big deal. I'm not saying rape survivors should be told what TJ said. I'm not saying rape survivors should think about it this way either. I'm just talking about myself. Just me. And in my situation, the pain had gone on for too long. Something needed to change, and this thought pattern was it. Bad things happen to everyone. Most people go through trauma. But as long as you're still breathing, you can come back from it. Anyway, thanks for watching and supporting. See you soon.